Hey y'all, baby, it's Sunday, and y'all know on Sunday we cook dinner for that man and them kids. So we had some chicken, some cabbage, some mashed potatoes, some candy yam cornbread today. And I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the recipe for the candy yam cornbread and the cabbage, okay? So we're gonna start with the cabbage, baby. Now I wanted to add some squash to mine because I like squash. So go ahead and slice and dice you up one squash and some bell peppers too. Today I had some red bell peppers, some orange, and some yellow in the refrigerator, so them the ones we gonna use. If you got some green ones, you can use them too. Go ahead and throw them in there, okay? So once I had my pepper sliced, baby, I went ahead and sliced and diced up an onion. This is a yellow onion or a sweet onion. You can use a white onion or a red onion, but sometimes they be a little strong. So do it the way you like to do it. Now, sometimes I add meat to my cabbage. Sometimes I don't. Today, we're going to add some beef smoked sausage. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Just go ahead and slice and dice it up. I slice it at a little angle, and I use about a half a pack of the sausage, okay? Now, if you know anything about me, baby, you know I do not know how to cut up no cabbage at all right? I used to get my knives from the $1.25 tree store, but this knife came from Amazon, so maybe that's why it was a little bit easier to cut. I cut it up into little cabbage steaks, and then I cut it vertically, cut it horizontally, threw it in that bowl, and baby, you cannot tell me I do not have my cabbage cutting certificate, okay? Anyway, wash your cabbage out, baby. Then you're going to add a little butter to your skillet. Put your sausage in there, and then you're going to let that brown up a little bit. Now, once your sausage got a little color on it, you're going to go ahead and add your veggies. We're going to start with the peppers. Let them saute for a little bit, and after they saute for about a minute or so, go ahead and add them onions in there, all right? Let your onions cook until they get a little soft, baby, and then you're just going to mix everything up all together. Now, you're going to let that go for another couple minutes, and then we're going to put our cabbage right on top, and once you got that cabbage in there, we got to season it up real good. So hit it with a little bit of seasoning oil, some smoked paprika, some soft fritones, baby. Add you some minced garlic in there, about a tablespoon of sugar. Yes, a tablespoon of sugar. And then we're going to add just a few drops of vinegar in there and put that squash right on top. Mix everything up real good. You do not need to add water. Cabbage makes its own water, okay? I promise you. Just put a lid on it, baby, and put it on a medium-low heat and let it do what it do. Now, while your cabbage cooking, baby, go ahead and boil you one sweet potato. That's all you need, I promise you. I like to boil mine with the skin on it because it make it easier to peel. Sweet potatoes are hard, but if you got palms of steel, baby, go ahead and cut it up, okay? So I let mine boil for about 10 minutes, and I peel that skin off of it and cut it up into little pieces. Once you got it all cut up, go ahead and get you some of this Land O'Lakes honey butter. If you don't have honey butter, baby, just add you a little bit of regular butter and some honey in there, okay? You're going to melt that down a little bit, and then you're going to add them potatoes in there. You're going to saute them for a little bit. They already pretty much soft, but we want to let them cook for another 5 minutes or so, okay? Now we're going to add a little cinnamon and nutmeg. You can be free-handed with the cinnamon. Add as much as you think you're going to like, but when it comes to that nutmeg, baby, I only add a pinch of it, okay? Add you a squeeze of lemon juice in there, about a tablespoon of white sugar, and about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. If you got some vanilla extract, add a splash of that too, okay? Now you're going to mix that up real good, and you're going to let it create like a little glaze. And once it creates that little glaze, baby, go ahead and add you about a half a cup of water, put a lid on it, and let it simmer. We're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to turn the heat off and let it cool. Now, you want to add this to a blender cup if you have one. If you don't, baby, don't even worry about it. Just mash it up real good. But don't put the juice in there. Just put the sweet potatoes in there, okay? So we're going to put the sweet potatoes in there and make sure you let it cool before you actually blend it up, and then you're going to blend it up until it gets smooth. Put that to the side, baby, and we getting started on the cornbread. And yes, we're using Jiffy. If you want to make it from scratch and you know how to do that, I love that for you. You so wonderful. You so beautiful. You so pretty and smart. Anyway, baby, follow the instructions on the back of the box, but add you 1 extra egg in there, okay? Once you got all your eggs in there, go ahead and add you about a cup of milk, and then you gonna mix that up real good until it's smooth. Once it's smooth, make sure you add your sweet potato puree in there, and then you gonna mix it up some more, and then you're gonna take some melted butter and put it in your dish. Now, I use this 13 by 9 dish, so mine didn't come out as thick as I wanted it to be, baby, but when I tell you the cornbread was a bomb 10 out of 10, it ain't even matter, all right? Go ahead and put that in the oven on 350 for about 25-30 minutes. Take that glaze you had from earlier, add you some more honey butter in there, add you some more honey in there, baby, and then you're going to mix that up, let it warm for a little bit, and there you go with your candy yam glaze, all right? We're going to go ahead and take that cornbread out the oven, put that glaze right on top, make sure you spread it around real good. And when I tell y'all this cornbread was so good, y'all, Kaya texted me talking about did I get enough because they was about to take the last piece. Baby went down there and it's all that was left, crumbs. But anyway, call that man them kids and tell them to come eat because the cornbread and cabbage is served. Bye, y'all.